Welcome back to Iraqi Dinar News, your go-to source for accurate updates on currency reform and the evolving global financial landscape. Today's development is not speculation, hearsay, or theory. It's confirmed, published, and legally binding. A monumental shift has occurred, one that could alter the trajectory of Iraq's monetary future and reshape expectations for every dinar holder watching closely. After years of speculation, the long-awaited turning point has finally arrived. As published in Iraq's official national gazette, the country has enacted a two-step currency exchange reform law. This isn't merely a ministerial statement or political soundbite. It's enforceable law, now part of the legal framework. It carries the full weight of the Iraqi government and charts a clear path forward in the country's financial evolution. This legislation is a signal, loud and clear, that Iraq is entering a new monetary era. For years, the dinar community has been navigating through waves of speculation, delays, and vague government signals, but this newly published legal action marks the end of guesswork. Now there's an official roadmap in motion, backed by statutory authority and not subject to sudden reversal or bureaucratic slowdowns. Renowned intel analyst Frank 26 continues to assert that the Iraqi dinar is poised to be the first major currency to revalue, with others like the Vietnamese dong potentially following its lead. He downplays concerns regarding double-dipping, maintaining that this won't affect the rollout and urges proactive readiness. On the other hand, financial commentator Pimpy remains cautious. He draws attention to lingering ambiguity around Iraq's plan to possibly remove zeros from the currency, which could have a significant effect on when and how revaluation happens. Militiaman, another frequently cited voice, brings a sense of optimism to the conversation. He highlights Iraq's rapid economic recovery and stresses that the country's fiscal readiness is often underestimated. In his view, Iraq's current reforms are not just cosmetic. They indicate deep-rooted progress pointing toward a currency transformation of global proportions. And now Iraq has solidified that direction in law. The two-phase exchange reform isn't a suggestion. It's a concrete legislative directive that will govern how the Central Bank of Iraq recalibrates its currency policies, international relationships, and economic protocols. This policy lays out a vision for financial modernization and long-term global integration. In the first phase, Iraq focuses on aligning its official exchange rate with market realities. The persistent gap between the official rate and the black market rate has long been a breeding ground for corruption, confusion, and instability. With this law, the government is finally moving to eliminate that gap. Closing this discrepancy is not only about financial efficiency, it's about restoring confidence in Iraq's national currency, both at home and abroad. It sends a decisive message to international markets. Iraq is serious about reform. The second phase marks the real transformation. It's about rebuilding the economic engine itself. This phase introduces a smart, data-driven approach involving real-time oversight of oil revenue, inflation levels, and foreign currency reserves. But perhaps most crucially, it calls for cooperation with global institutions like the International Monetary Fund, a move that adds legitimacy and brings valuable oversight to the entire process. Rather than chasing sensationalism or relying on hype, this phase lays the groundwork for a sustainable, respected, and globally integrated currency system. It isn't about overnight riches. It's about crafting a credible, long-term economic model that positions Iraq as a key player on the international stage. For those holding dinar, both within Iraq and abroad, this law is a game changer. It transforms uncertainty into structured progression. The dinar is no longer a speculative hope. It's moving toward legitimate and regulated exchange pathways. And with the law now firmly in place, the likelihood of partnerships with banks, remittance systems, and foreign investors becomes increasingly realistic. The Central Bank of Iraq has already begun implementing the first stage of this blueprint. Anticipated changes to the official rate will come with precise guidelines and public notifications. Educational campaigns and procedural announcements will be released, ensuring that every institution and citizen understands what actions to take and when to take them. But a word of caution. Until official instructions are publicly shared by either the central bank or Ministry of Finance, no one should engage with unverified brokers or online platforms claiming to offer early exchange opportunities. These unofficial channels not only carry the risk of financial loss, but also potential legal consequences. Another significant part of this reform is the redenomination effort, often misinterpreted as devaluation. In reality, it involves replacing large denomination bills with lower value notes of equal worth, like swapping a 25,000 dinar note for a 25 dinar note. This change simplifies transactions, fights counterfeiting, and reflects Iraq's emergence from years of economic volatility into a more modern financial structure. To ensure public understanding, the Iraqi government has launched a nationwide education campaign using TV, radio, newspapers, and even local outreach centers. Materials are also being translated into multiple dialects to ensure inclusivity. This initiative reflects responsible governance. When citizens are informed, they are empowered, and the reform rollout is far more likely to succeed. As the world watches, international financial observers are starting to take notice. Banks in the Gulf, institutional investors across Asia, and global analysts are all reevaluating Iraq's potential. Much of this growing confidence is linked to Iraq's foreign reserves, now at their highest levels in over 2 decades. These reserves, bolstered by consistent oil revenues and tighter fiscal policies, provide the solid backing necessary to support a viable revaluation. For citizens inside Iraq, this growing reserve base offers a promise of price stability, reduced reliance on the black market, and renewed confidence in their domestic banking system. For international holders of the dinar, it signals a turning point. The currency may finally be on the path to global tradability. Most importantly, this isn't just hopeful rhetoric. This development is backed by legislation, meaning it can't be brushed aside by changes in leadership or political whims. It's locked into Iraq's legal system. Government ministries now have their mandate. The banking system has marching orders. Citizens have clarity. This law has effectively shifted the Iraqi dinar conversation from the realm of rumor into the domain of policy. For years, holders have been waiting for tangible confirmation that progress was underway. That wait is over. Iraq's financial evolution is not just being discussed, it's being enacted, line by line in enforceable legal text. As the details continue to unfold, dinar holders are strongly advised to remain vigilant and informed. Don't rush into deals or entertain unsolicited offers from individuals claiming access to special rates or early access exchanges. Until the Central Bank of Iraq and the Ministry of Finance release official protocols, any activity outside those frameworks could put your funds and your legal standing at risk. This also includes remaining wary of potential scams that tend to surface during transitional periods. These scammers often exploit confusion to lure people into costly traps. To avoid such risks, stick exclusively to information and updates released by the official institutions involved in the reform process. On a structural level, this reform is Iraq's formal reintroduction into the global economic ecosystem. Behind closed doors, serious conversations are underway involving trade agreements, sovereign reserves, and international financial partnerships. The support of global institutions like the IMF adds additional weight and credibility, making it clear that this is not merely a domestic policy, it's part of a broader, internationally coordinated agenda. What sets this reform apart is its level of transparency. Unlike many policy shifts in the region that unfold quietly or with minimal public clarity, Iraq is choosing to inform and involve its people. The government's commitment to a national education campaign is a crucial pillar in this process. By empowering its citizens with facts and procedural clarity, Iraq is laying the groundwork for a smooth and informed transition. This revaluation isn't some overnight shortcut to wealth. Instead, it rewards those who have shown patience, those who understood the long-term nature of this investment. If Iraq continues on its current trajectory, the months and years ahead may bring stability, prosperity, and legitimate international recognition. Of course, the road will not be without its bumps. Some steps may face unforeseen delays, and not every milestone will be met on time, but that's the nature of large-scale economic change. What matters most is that the foundation is now concrete. The law has been passed, the central bank has been mobilized, ministries are already taking action, and the public is being educated. This is no longer a vision, it's happening right now in real time. For everyone watching, whether you're a seasoned investor or just trying to understand what's next, this is your signal to stay grounded. Don't be swayed by online noise or grand promises. Focus on verified information, maintain a clear understanding of official procedures, and avoid anything that smells of secrecy or short-term gain. Iraq is entering a powerful new chapter, one defined by legal certainty, global cooperation, and long-term financial rebuilding. The wheels are turning, the system is aligning, and for once it's not just speculation fueling the optimism. It's policy, law, and implementation. This reform also acts as a reminder: the future of Iraq's economy isn't being dictated by outside forces. It's being shaped internally, with strategic alliances and sovereign decisions. By publishing this reform in the Gazette, Iraq has planted its flag as a nation ready for economic sovereignty, ready for legitimate engagement with the world economy, and ready to put past instability behind it. To all dinar holders watching this unfold, your next steps should be based on patience and preparation. Monitor credible news sources, keep track of statements from the Central Bank of Iraq and Ministry of Finance, and above all, avoid emotional decisions. This isn't a race, it's a carefully mapped-out process with legal oversight and international accountability. If you've stayed committed through the uncertainty, your patience is finally meeting substance. The story of the Iraqi dinar is no longer written in rumors. It's now written in law. For the first time in years, we can say this with confidence. The revaluation of the dinar is not just possible, it is underway. Thank you for staying with Iraqi Dinar News. We are committed to bringing you verified facts, thoughtful analysis, and updates that matter. Please like, share, and subscribe so more people can get clarity during this historic transition. Use the comment section to share your thoughts, ask questions, or support fellow members of the community. Let's continue building a space grounded in truth, not hype. Stay informed, stay alert, and most importantly, stay prepared. Iraq is turning a page, and this time, it's not a rumor, it's reality.